recorded it, pulled the trigger, and then drove off.
We had 2 people call us and say that they saw a video on Snapchat of a white male by the name of Talon Lowry shot someone sitting on a bench.
Sir, someone's been shot, man.
When police receive multiple calls reporting a shooting that was posted online, they have no idea who they may be up against. But the Snapchat posts of a deranged teenager may unlock the motives behind this gruesome tragedy. And though they didn't know it at the time, this video is only one of several documenting a twisted crime spree.
I just got punched really hard.
Okay, do you know who it was?
No.
It looks like he just wanted some fame out of it. A Snapchat.
Actives on social media. Oh.
He just died. Bro, what, bro?
He died. The fiance of 31-year-old Jamel Dunn reported him missing. His body was later found at the edge of a pond in Florida. Police said the teen's deliberate decision not to get help held, quote, no moral justification.
Jesus Ayala appearing in adult court for the first time Thursday, facing 18 charges, including murder.
The court does find probable cause for your arrest in this case.
His co-defendant, Jameer Keys, facing 3 charges, also including murder. The teens are accused of killing retired police chief Andy Probst, intentionally hitting him as he rode his bicycle in a designated bike lane. Ayala, the accused driver. Keys, the accused passenger who recorded this video. Metro Police say this was the 3rd hit and run during their crime spree on August 14th. They're accused of hitting another cyclist earlier that morning, a 72-year-old man who survived. The 8 News Now investigators confirming all 3 hit and runs are on video.
The family of Andreas Probst says the behavior of the 2 murder suspects makes them angry. Despite the serious felony charges each are facing, the pair were all smiles in court Tuesday. Sitting 4 seats apart from each other in district court Tuesday to set a trial date, 18-year-old Jesus Ayala and 16-year-old Jameer Keys were seen giggling, conversing, covering their faces from media, and flipping off the Probst family.
How can you sit there after taking a man's life and act like such an entitled
It's no secret that we live in a world that is growing colder and colder by the day. We live in a day and age when you can go to a store and nobody will make eye contact with you. Wherever you go, it seems like people are just growing colder and colder one towards another. The question is, why? Let's watch a couple more videos and let's see just how bad this really is.
These women were all sucker punched by strangers on the streets of New York. We've told you how there's been an epidemic of these attacks. Now, for the first time, we've brought together several of the victims. They didn't know each other before today, but as Allison Hall reports, they now share a bond.
We brought together Sterling Quinn, Marissa Harbert, Allison Hager, and Annika Hartier after they became victims of the sucker punch epidemic that's hit New York.
81-year-old woman told me she feels lucky to still be breathing and walking. When I sat down and spoke with her, she also explained how she has bruises over much of her upper body.
The neck was almost as fat as my face. My nose is broken. Here, you can see the swollenness. Here, can you see? The black and blue. Yeah, maybe I'll take my glasses and you can see.
Gwilla has survived heart surgery, a hip replacement, and now a vicious attack.
That's the scary part, in front of my building.
In this surveillance footage obtained exclusively by Fox 5, you see her stop as her dog sniffs a wall. A man dressed in black walks past her. Her back is to him. He turns around, heads towards her, punches her so hard she's knocked off her feet. We intentionally pause the video before the punch lands.
This is what happened to a teacher who took away a student's phone. The student first pepper sprayed her teacher in the classroom before doing it again in the hallway as she demanded her phone back. She apparently had her phone taken away for Googling test answers.
Anybody with eyes to see will be fully aware that crime and aggressive nature between people has only grown and grown over the years. Nowadays, we live in a world where they tell us, do not believe your eyes. They tell us that the world and this country in particular, the United States, is getting safer and safer. But I'm going to have to disagree with that. And not only am I going to disagree, I'm going to provide some proof for you, or at least some critical thinking, some reasoning for you to perhaps get on board with me. Let's start here. The FBI releases the 2023 Crime in Nation Statistics. Now, this is fascinating because according to the FBI, crime has gone down considerably. That's great. Maybe we're all just blind. Maybe we're all just seeing too much. Let's get into that. First of all, it says murder and negligent manslaughter recorded a 2023 estimate nationwide decrease of 11.6% compared to the previous year. In 2023, the estimated number of offenses in revised category saw an estimated 9.4% decrease. Aggravated assault figures decreased an estimated 2.8%. That sounds amazing. It's great. Who doesn't love that? But we know better, don't we? Aside from that, let's go into this. Let's go a little bit deeper. So according to this, in 2020, the crime that we were seeing in 2019 was roughly, according to this, oh my goodness, an average of 540,000 crimes down to 368,000 crimes. So you mean to tell me that we are down 180,000 crimes per populace, okay? We are down a huge margin of criminal activity over the past 3 years. They've did it. They've solved crime. We are down like 20%. But are we really? Is crime really down that much? Let's look a little bit beyond that. So, annual unsolved crimes in the United States. In 2022, 63% of violent crimes reported to law enforcement in the United States went unsolved. This includes 10,000 homicides, 525,000 aggravated assaults, 169,000 robberies, 98,000 assaults. Now, the percentage of unsolved violent crime has increased since 2012 when it was 58%. This increase occurred across all violent crime categories. Let's go a little bit further and let's see, just in the past year, I'm sure you guys have seen plenty of these videos, the smash and grabs. They're happening all over the place right now. And then we're going to go into maybe why they're not reported.
Police, prosecutors, and the mayor.
That's right. Tom Wade joins us now. Tom, some people saying talk is cheap, and they want prosecutions and punishment.
They do, and there are some complicating factors here, and some of that has to do with what voters approved. So here we go. A big reason why it's harder to punish these brazen robbers is Prop 47, which reduces penalties for certain theft, but some are also blaming LA County DA George Gascon. He is pushing back. The videos are stunning and infuriating. Violent smash and grab robberies happening across the Southland. These disturbing scenes beg this question: how to stop mob robberies from happening.
While a lot of attention is being drawn to the smash and grabs, which are absolutely horrible, that has to start somewhere. Most people don't wake up and say, oh, I'm just going to go do a smash and grab. These are people who are repeat offenders who have stolen before and gotten away with behavior.
And contending with repeat offenders is a major issue. After voters passed Prop 47 in 2014, penalties for certain theft and drug crimes were reduced. Governor Newsom directed district attorneys to, quote, stack repeat misdemeanor offenders in order to keep them locked up. The idea: charge repeat offenders with felonies by stacking or piling up their prior convictions. But that is more complicated than it sounds.
California's crime debate has been completely misguided. We've been looking at the wrong things.
Dr. Mike Mills is a senior research fellow at the San Francisco-based Center for Juvenile and Criminal Justice. Its new report finds California law enforcement are solving fewer crimes over the past 3 decades, despite increased funding.
Back in 1990, the average officer on the street in California made 30 arrests per year on average. Today, it's down to about 10 arrests.
That's a 69% decrease, according to the report, while there's been a 408% increase in law enforcement funding relative to arrests. The report also finds that from 1990 to 2023, violent crimes dropped by 45%. With more money and resources, Mail argues arrests should be up.
It's a mystery to us. We don't know why police efficiency and sheriff's efficiency has declined so much. It's occurred around the state. It's occurred in liberal and conservative jurisdictions alike.
The report looks at clearance rates, which are the number of crimes solved by arrests. Those have dropped 41% since 1990. 22% of crimes were solved in 1990, just 13% were solved in 2023.
Yet again, we're seeing the same issue, right? They're saying that crime has gone down dramatically since 1990. I mean, they are saying that crime is down 69% from 1990 to 2023. Isn't that amazing? But is it really? Right? I mean, that's really a very important question, because if you are a person who can believe your eyes, do you really believe that? In 1990, people didn't lock their doors to their houses. Nowadays, people can break into your house and steal under $1,000 worth of stuff, depending on what state you're in. You can pull a gun on them to defend yourself, and you can be arrested for it. We live in a world that is so upside down. They treat evil as good and good as evil. And not to mention, if they are not even arresting criminals, no wonder crime is down, right? Okay, so funding is up, arrests should be up, but crime is down. How does that make sense? That's because they're not arresting the people who are committing crimes. They're not actually doing their jobs. So they're letting crime run rampant because they don't want to arrest them, because then they can say that crime is actually down because they didn't do anything about it. It's circular reasoning in its most beautiful form. Let's go a little bit beyond that. I want you guys to take a look at this biblical scripture. If you are bearing with me, I appreciate it. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us when these things shall be, and what shall be the sign of your coming and of the end of the world. And Yeshua, Jesus, answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you, which is literally what we're talking about right now. They're literally trying to deceive you with these statistics, which are clearly fluffed and misrepresented. And you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, which we are. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, or ethnos versus ethnos, ethnicity versus ethnicity, which is happening right now too. They are trying to make people of different races hate each other right now, instead of just getting along, which is exactly what used to happen. I grew up with people of all sorts of different races. I had friends of all sorts of different races, and I still do to this day. But you know what? They would have you believe that we're all enemies based on our skin color, because that is what they're trying to do in the media. Nonetheless, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are only the beginning of sorrows. They will deliver you up to be afflicted, and will kill you, and you shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. Happening right now. And many false prophets shall arise, and shall deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. And he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. Here's a very interesting thought for you. If this Israel and Islam war progresses and ends up creating a world war, don't you think that the people of this world are going to say that it was religion that caused World War III? And if they do, who do you think that they will blame when that happens? The people of this world will want to abolish all religion. If the Third World War is anything like people say it's going to be like, and I believe that there's a good chance that it will, then of course, the people who hold these beliefs are going to be an enemy of the people. You can do everything right. You can love your brothers. You can love your enemies. But still, they will turn you up because you believe in this book. Because according to them, religion will be the enemy. So, kind of an off-topic rant, but I just want you to think about that from that perspective. Let's go into another scripture here. 2 Timothy 3. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come, for men shall be lovers of their own selves. Man, is that true today. Covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God, having a form of godliness but denying the power thereof. From such turn away. We're talking about people who claim to believe in the Bible, claim to believe in the Father, and yet their actions do not show it. They act as those in the world. They do not have a set-apart way. They do not have a set-apart walk. They do not pick up and carry their cross. They do not follow the commandments of our Father and our Messiah. Let's keep going. For of this sort are they which creep into houses and lead captive silly women laden with lusts, led away with diverse lusts. Laden with sins, ever learning and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth. Man, do people think they are smart today, too. Now, as Johns and Jambres withstood Moses, so do these also resist the truth. Men of corrupt minds, reprobate concerning the faith. But they shall proceed no further, for their folly shall be manifest unto all men, as theirs also was. But you have fully known my doctrine, manner of life, purpose, faith, long-suffering, charity, patience, persecutions, afflictions, which have come unto me in Antioch, at Iconium, at Lystra, what persecutions I endured. But out of them all the Most High delivered me. Yea, and all that will live godly in Messiah Yeshua shall suffer persecution. But evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. But continue you in the things which you have learned, and have been assured of, knowing of whom you have learned them, and that from a child you have known the holy scriptures, which are able to make thee wise unto salvation, through faith which is in Messiah Yeshua. All scripture is given by inspiration of God, and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness, that the man of God may be perfect, thoroughly finished unto all good works. We live in an amazing time. To be able to witness all of this happening before our eyes, often it doesn't feel like it in the moment. We look at this and say, why did I have to be born at this time? Why couldn't I have been born 100 years ago? But you know what? We take for granted a lot of the blessings that we have today. The power, the ability to use this knowledge to be able to edify and learn for ourselves in the meantime. Yes, it's easy to be deceived, but if you hunger and thirst after righteousness and truth, you will be filled according to the Bible. And you know what? If you actually are earnestly seeking the truth, you can find it, but you have to use your mind. You have to think. The Father gave you a mind to critically think. You have to wake up from the brainwashing, from the programming, to be able to see what is happening before us. Crime is not down 60 or 70% like it was saying. It is clearly up higher than ever. But if you believe your eyes over the lies, you will be doing well. Pray that you are given eyes to see and ears to hear. And I thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.